What's up? What's up? What's up?
Yo, yo, yo.
What's up, fam? Listen, I know we always dress alike, but for real, we actually did dress alike today.
She copied me, y'all.
I did not, you guys. He is totally hallucinating. So normally we have clothes that match in the office, but today we actually had up this today, like all the way down to the khaki pants, y'all. All the way down to the khaki pants.
I didn't even pay attention.
I did. I didn't want to tell you because I didn't want you to change.
I would have changed. I would have. Who we got with us today,
What's
man?
up, fam?
How y'all doing today, man? Who we got with us?
Drop your name. Drop your name. I don't think it's gonna let us see.
It's not?
Who? We'll see. Let's see who all joins.
Okay. All right.
How's everyone doing today? Are you having a wonderful? What's today? Today Wednesday. Today's Tuesday. Slow it down,
Get your
Ashley.
mind
Slow
right.
it down.
Get
Slow
your
it down.
mind right.
Slow it down. Absolutely. We got Q on the live. What's up, Q?
Q.
I miss you guys too. I miss you guys too.
We got Miss
Absolutely.
Janice. We miss you, Miss Janice.
Hey, beautiful.
What you been up to? We know you doing deals. We know that.
You stay doing some deals.
Yes.
Well, good stuff. You guys go ahead and join in if you know anyone that is a part of the group and you feel like they need to be on this. Today we are talking about data points for personal and business funding. So we're going to dig into that because a lot of you have questions about it. So we wanted to make sure we gave you the answers. All right. So share it with anyone you know that's in the group. These trainings are available only for those who are in the REI Live or X-Flipper Academy group. All right.
Yes. All right.
All right.
Make sure you ask your questions. Drop them in the chat as always. Miss Churchill in the building. Make sure you drop your questions as always. If you don't quite understand something, let us know. Understand that this is a big topic. We're
Yes.
only going to do kind of like a snippet of it here, but we're also going to have a property challenge in April that we're going to go in a little more detail. We have a little more time, but there are some foundation pieces that you need to understand before you even get to about.
Absolutely. So without further ado, I want to share something with you guys. So let me share my screen. Guess I can't do it that fast. All right. So this is my first time doing it this way, you guys. So give me a second.
So you trying that stuff with my people?
I am. That's why.
Progress over perfection.
Absolutely. You, on the other hand, feel some kind of way about this
It's
because
all good. It's all good.
they love me for this. All right. So that's how it looks. So you know.
Okay.
All right. So let's talk about data points for funding. I want you guys to continue to drop things in the chat. We're going to monitor. If you see me looking down, it's because I'm monitoring the chat from my phone. So let's do it. Let's pull up both chats, though.
Both chats?
Mm-hmm.
You're doing too much.
I know. Chappelle said, I thought yesterday was Friday. Listen. These days have been going quickly, okay? All right, y'all ready?
Let's roll.
Let's do it.
So I will say that the first thing that you need to understand when it comes to business funding is that you can get business funding two ways. You can get business funding by personal guaranteeing it. You can get business funding by building your Dun and Bradstreet number and not personal guarantee. So a lot of the things that we do, a lot of things that we teach the personal guarantee way because it's a lot faster.
It's like
Just to be transparent with you.
We found that most investors don't want to spend the time building it up because the faster they do it, the faster they can get into their next investment property, the faster they can get into their next rehab or finish a rehab or investment
Yes.
property.
But understand that either way you go, your LLC has to be set up right.
Yes.
That's where you have to start. All right. So, do you have an LLC? That's the first question. Have you actually went and filed the paperwork for an LLC, or you're just using your Social Security number in place of your LLC? So understand that when we say LLC, that is when you're going to go to your Secretary of State, you're going to file your paperwork, and you're going to be official with the Secretary of State.
Most states will let you do it online, so you don't have to physically take off a whole day from work. I literally did one 2 3 weeks ago, and it took us all of 15 20 minutes. All
Yeah.
right.
So understand that an LLC is an S corp, it's a C corp, partnerships. Those are kind of the most general ones. Corporations, um, nonprofits. All those are considered LLCs or entities that can get funding.
Yes. Um, we don't seek your tax or your accountant, seek your tax accountant to determine what type of entity is best for you in your business.
Yes.
Most people do LLCs, but you may need an LLC that is um
Taxed
as an S corp
or C corp. So probably just S corp. But understand that there's different ways to do it. The key is to have one.
Yes.
All right.
Structuring your business is far most important. Um, should it stop you from doing things? No. Don't Nothing in life should stop you from doing anything. All right. Progress over perfection. Sometimes you may have to go back and structure that entity, and that's completely fine. And if you're one of the people that need to go back, this is definitely for you today, because we're going to show you exactly what it needs to look like and how you can fix it so that you can go for funding.
One thing that I will tell you is that your business name matters.
Your who?
Your business name.
Yes. Your business name.
So understand that lenders look at certain industries as high risk businesses, and they look at other businesses as low risk businesses. So example of a high risk business would be
trucking.
Trucking.
Trucking is a high risk business entity.
Real estate.
Real estate. Absolutely.
Real estate is a high risk business.
Absolutely.
If you
capital,
if you're trying to form a bank or things of that nature, you're considered high risk, and they don't want to lend money to you to do what they're doing.
Absolutely.
Cannabis is a high risk industry. So if you are forming a LLC and you're in those areas, just know that your funding options will be limited because of your name.
Yes. So, for example,
what?
When we're talking about names,
okay.
So some names that you don't want to put
low risk industries.
No, let's do high risk names that you don't want to put to flag that yes, you are indeed high risk. And we did this.
We did this. Denmark Properties.
Denmark Properties. Don't put Denmark Properties. Don't put Smith Properties. Don't do it. Don't put what's another one? Residential Smith Residential Company.
Yes.
Don't do that.
The Trucking LLC.
Don't put trucking.
Yes. Don't put those things in your name. Low risk industries.
Marketing. Smith Marketing and Associates. Consulting. What's another one? Enterprise. Yeah.
Enterprise. When you're going for funding, you don't want them to really know what your business do for the most part.
You want, and even like you can do something like, because I know people that do this all the time, where they'll get their kid's name, their middle name or something, and they'll put consultant or enterprise behind it, so you don't really know what it is.
So an example of one of our students who just did an LLC, they did Golden Key Enterprises.
Golden Key.
Like, what is Golden Key? So it's not a high risk type industry.
Because you don't know what type of key it's for.
Yes. So that's one thing that's important, is picking your name properly.
Absolutely. And then you gotta go into water. You don't have any. Then we're gonna go into your EIN. EIN numbers are important. And when you are filing for your EIN number, you're going to do it on the IRS website. All right. It's so simple. You don't have to go above and beyond to get your business structure. It's really simple. All right. So you go to the IRS website and they're going to walk you through a series of questions. And in that series of questions, they're going to ask you, is it trucking? Is it real estate? Is it other? And then when you go to other, because you're going to need to go to other if you're a high risk. If you're not a high risk, put exactly what you are.
Yes.
But if you are a high risk, then I recommend you using other and then going to consulting after other. All right. Because otherwise, your EIN number will be flagged as a high risk, even though your name is not flagged as a high risk. All right.
Next. You want to set up a business account. Is it absolutely necessary? No.
No.
But these are the things that when someone looks up your business, you want to know that you have things in order. And a business account is one of those things that they can see that you have a lot of times.
Yeah, it's all about your image and your profile. You want to have a legit profile and not something that someone just pulled up and tried to do overnight, but you're asking for 100,000 in funding. That just doesn't make sense. All right, we're gonna talk about business address.
I got a fancy tip.
Oh, goodbye. Don't waste it. All right, so business address. If you don't have a physical business address, that is okay. But you need to get one that looks like you have a business address. You cannot use your home address. Do not use that. We did that wrong.
Yes. So, in total transparency, we just jumped out the porch and went. So, we did a lot of stuff wrong from the beginning on our LLC. Like this address situation.
We had our personal address.
Personal address.
Talk about somebody can pull up on you at any time
yes.
while you're asleep.
So, and I will say, by the time we got to this point of kind of doing things the right way, we had a real office. So we've never personally got a virtual office, but I got a friend that named Robert, and he helped structures LLCs, and he gave us opiates that can help you set up a virtual address. Understand this, when you get a virtual address, you want it tied to a brick and mortar building, not just a virtual address that's kind of in the sky. There's a big difference between having a virtual address that's not tied to a brick and mortar or a virtual address that is tied to a brick and mortar.
Definitely.
Because when they look up your address on your Google, you want them to see a building. Like you're actually in that building.
And not the post office.
Yes.
You don't want them to see a P.O. box. Most businesses really frowned on giving you money if you don't have a physical address.
Are we getting questions you're not seeing?
Oh, we are. Okay.
Oh, if y'all ask some questions, we ain't looking at none of them. So give us a second. Do we need our business partner coming here with these questions?
Okay, so Nikki says she likes using consulting. Donnell says he used Creations for his name of his company. Creations is a great one. Chappelle said, if I have my LLC established already, can I go back and change things? Yes.
Yes. What I would recommend you doing is doing a DBA, and that's a doing business as. You can adjust that and change your address, and then just use your DBA when you're applying for applications and things of that nature.
Yep. Samantha said, I use a mailbox at UPS for my business address.
I would adjust that, just to be honest with you.
Definitely.
I don't want, because the USPS is going to be tied to the post office. They know you're not sitting in the post office doing no work. So
they know it's a part-time business versus a full-time business. And that's what you don't want them to know, that it's a part-time business. So someone said, good question. I may need to change my NAICS. Absolutely.
Yes.
Someone said, can you use a virtual address for more than one business if I wanted to create another LLC? Absolutely. I don't see why not. I
Yeah.
probably got 5 businesses running out of these doors.
You
I'm not
stupid,
probably,
Ashley.
I have
Yes.
5 businesses running out of these doors. So absolutely, because understand that there's different suites. There in a suite, you can have different entities and
So
businesses.
what we would do is we would say 120 Summit Parkway, Suite 108, Suite 100B, Suite 100C. So we would just kind of add an A, B, or C to it to make it distinguish between addresses.
Absolutely. All right. Joshua, you put registered agents. What was your question with registered agents? I want to make sure I answer that. All right.
All right. We'll go to the next one.
Hey, Trish. All right.
Sorry for that overwhelming getting caught up. You know, when you clap, that means you're going to go.
I'm so sorry.
I
What's
drank my
fine
water.
until
I drank my water.
All right. So your business number. We talked about business address. Let's talk about a business number. Your business number should be a phone number, not your cell phone number, not a residential number. It should actually be a business phone number. It can be a 1-800 number. It can be a local number, but make sure that it's a business phone number.
And it's registered with the 411. That's important because you want to make sure that your business is registered and it looks legit. So we just not running a mom and pop shop if we want to get this money. We got to pay a little fee for some of these things, but in the end, it'll be worth it. So there's a statistic, and I'm not going to necessarily totally quote it, but 10 to 20% of businesses that use a cell phone as their main line of communication fail. So the banks keep that type of data. They study it just like we do. So understand that if you're using your cell phone, that is a not a red flag, but a note taken on your account that hey, they might not be doing business for real.
Absolutely. Someone said, is it better to have a 1-800 number?
Yes.
Absolutely.
It's better to have both of them, honestly.
Because you want to show that you are doing it from a local aspect, but 1-800, you want to have a business number, period. They're not going to say, okay, for a 1-800 number, you're going to get $20,000 more, but it is going to be a checkbox like, okay, this is definitely a real business. Set up on your business phone numbers. Set up your voicemails. Make it sound professional.
Yes.
Click if anybody's ever listened to our office voicemail, it says press 1 for this, press 2 for this. Like spend some time and set it up. What are you thinking about?
I'm trying to answer this question. Vonage.
Vonage is a good place to get phone numbers.
The 1-800 numbers.
1-800 numbers. And if you have a CRM, most CRMs will let you purchase a phone number, and you can use that as your business number.
Yes.
It's not many CRMs that don't let you have a virtual number. You just
Vonage Business,
yeah. So register with 411 and then go to Vonage Business to get your numbers. If you find somewhere that's cheaper, use it.
Yes.
We just want to make sure that you know where to go and what to do so that you're not wasting time saying, I'm going to set it up next week. All right. Your website is so important. I put website and email should be professionally done. Your website doesn't necessarily have to be professionally done, but it needs to look professional.
And even from the email standpoint, you don't have to have a professional to set up your email, but it needs to match your website. So, example.
When you buy your website from GoDaddy.com and you buy businessentity101.com, make sure you opt in for the email address that comes with it. It's like $12 a year, I think. Opt in for that. And then that gives you your professional email. You don't have to use it through
What does a
Outlook.
professional email look like?
It would say Ashley at businessstructure101.com or
Yeah.
.us .org, whatever it is.
Ideally a .com. That's the best one. But whatever your website is, be able to have an email that matches it. That's what when we say professionally, that's what looks professional. Info at such and such. So, example.
Help desk at such and such.
Okay, Judson put he loves Ring Central.
Absolutely. I use Uma.
I use Uma. Yes.
Uma is my favorite. OOMA. It allows, and I think they all really do the same thing.
Grasshopper.
I just had Uma for years, and I don't want to change. Yeah. Grasshopper's a good one.
Just go to there's a website for the 411.
Just Google it, and it'll take you there. Danielle said, I was going to ask, what is the average startup cost for virtual addresses, phone numbers, and websites? I'm not going to tell you. So let me break it down for websites. It depends on where you get the website from. I literally just bought a website 2 days ago on Sunday. I just bought a website from GoDaddy.com. My website was for a penny after the first year. So I paid $19.99 for 1 year and a penny for the second year. So it ended up being $20 for 2 years. All right. So websites, depending on your name, really determines the price.
I would say just a quick number. You're probably going to put aside about 75
to about 300.
To about 300.
Depending on your preference.
Because some people going to give you specials for the first year. So it's going to be a little different after that. I think Ring Central has the basic phone system for like $25.
But if you need more, then you're going to have to go up. It kind of depends on if you're backtracking your business and you're trying to reset it up right, you may need more than just the basic.
Yes.
Because now you're resetting it up. So.
Also, Google has professional emails also.
Yes. Google Suite is what it's called. And you can get your professional email. Google has a CRM now that they have. Google has everything you need.
So not gmail.com, but you can get a professional email through G Suite. So if you don't want to go to GoDaddy, you can go to G Suite. Those are two places. You ain't say that wrong.
Did I say G Suite? Did I say Google Suite? Okay. I'm like, what did I call it? Yeah. Okay. All of a sudden, G Suite sounded different.
All right. G Suite just sounded good. That's marketing, baby.
All right.
What's up, G?
Hey, Gilberto, and it's affordable. Absolutely. Google is highly affordable. Yes. Absolutely.
All right. So this is the data point. So a lot of times you hear people in the business world talk about data points. So your LLC is structured properly. If your LLC isn't structured properly, none of this stuff really doesn't matter.
Right.
So I know we took, 20 minutes, 25 minutes explaining that LLC, but that is the foundation to all this other stuff that's going on.
Yes.
So what you see here is basically what we call data points. There is no like 1 point, 2 point, 3 point. It's not a point system like that. But these are the things that we look for when it's time to get personal or business funding. All right. So I'm gonna start with the personal side first.
All right.
So on the personal side, people who will go up for personal funding are people who don't have a lot of credit. They haven't had a lot of credit in the past. They're just kind of getting going.
Or they just rebuild their credit.
They had a bankruptcy and they're just rebuilding their credit. These are the people that will probably get personal funding. All right. So from a data point standpoint, 680 or above. No collections are derogatories. Can you have a late payment? Ideally, no, but I've seen people get approved with 1 or 2 late payments as long as they weren't in the last year.
Yes.
Primary accounts, you want to have about 4 to 5 primary accounts.
So what are primary accounts?
Okay.
Primary accounts are accounts where you are the main owner of the account. So you're not the secondary, you're the main owner. You're the primary owner of the account. So if you have a mortgage and that mortgage is solely in your name, then that's a primary account. If you have a car loan and that car loan is in your name and you're not the the guarantor on it, then that's a primary account. If you have a credit card and that Chase credit card is in your name, that's a primary account.
Yes. Credit age, 1 to 2 years of history. One thing about primary accounts is student loans are considered primary accounts also.
Absolutely.
So don't
If you
forget
got
that if
eight
you got some
student
student
loans,
loans, those are primary
they get
accounts.
added to it.
Um, Credit age. Understand that when you hear credit age on your credit report, it's not how old is your oldest
How
credit
old
card.
or how old you are, because some
Yes.
people think, well, I'm 40 years old, so I should have hella age when it comes to my
Yes.
credit report. But you may have paid everything off, and your oldest account that's on your credit card that's open may be 2 years old. So now, although you're 40, you really only have two
Yeah.
years.
So it takes the average of the active accounts that's on your credit report. It takes the average of those. So if you got one account you have for 3 years and you just open an account, they're going to average those out to probably about one. I
And a
ain't doing the
half.
numbers. 1 2 years of 1.5 years of credit age. But as that new account gets history, your credit age goes up.
Yes.
So when we say 1 to 2 years, that's the average of all your accounts on your credit report.
Yes. And then you should have less than seven inquiries. So inquiries are when people are looking at your account to see if you should get a car, if you should buy a house, if you should get that credit card. So every time someone pulls your credit and it's not a soft pull and it's a hard pull, that's a credit inquiry.
Um, Inquiries. Look at each bureau. See how many inquiries is on TransUnion. How many inquiries is on Equifax.
You're gonna need to hold
I
your
know.
arms up like a little kid.
I'm doing all this talking.
All right. Utilization is next. We want to make sure we are under 30% utilization. I like to tell all my clients, look at 29%. Don't even look at 30 because 30 means you're going to tap into 31. So be really under 29% utilization because that's where it looks the best when it comes to getting funding, when it comes to buying a house, when it comes to everything. Try to stay up under 30%. All right. Make sure you have a minimum of one personal credit card, and that limit should be a minimum of $5,000. All right. The limit should be a minimum of $5,000 for your personal credit card. If you have all of those things, you guys, you can really secure a good amount in personal funding
Agree.
to get you started investing, to get you started in your business, whatever it is that you want to do. Some people can automatically go to the business route, but some people have to build and get those accounts by getting personal funding first before they go business funding. So let's dive into business funding.
All right. Before we get too deep,
Okay.
the reason that we like to PG is most of the business cards from a business standpoint don't report to your personal credit. So if I go get a Chase card, that's not going to report to my personal credit when I max it out. If I go and get a Flow and Decor card and I put a lot of uses on it, that's not going to report to my personal credit because we know that once it reports to my personal credit, that's going to increase my utilization. And my utilization goes up, my credit score goes down. So that's why we like the business part.
All right. All right. So let's talk about business funding. Same thing as personal. You need a 680 or above, zero collections, zero derogatories, zero late payments. But where it changes is when it comes to primary accounts. For business, they want to see 10 or more primary accounts. All right. They want to know that you got 10 or more accounts that you are the main person on and you're not the authorized user. So, not an authorized user account,
Yes.
but really primary accounts.
One thing about the primary accounts is that you want to have a good mix of accounts. You want to have credit cards. You want to have installment loans. You want to have
Revolving, but that's credit card. Revolving installment.
Different type of account, a car, a house. So the more variety you have, the better you look. You just can't have 10 credit cards. That don't look good for real.
All right, so what that looks like is that looks like you paid a bunch of people to be on their credit cards. So you want to definitely. That's why you wouldn't go for business funding if you don't have 10 because it looks like you don't have what it takes.
Yeah. So less than 4 inquiries per bureau, ideally 2 or 3 per bureau. Because when you're going for business funding, they're going to do what's called credit stacking. And they're going to take one bureau and they're going to apply for multiple cards on that one bureau at the same time. So if you have 4 inquiries and then you go apply for 2 or 3 more, once you get too many inquiries, some lenders will automatically deny you because of the inquiries on your credit report.
Yes.
Um,
So it's important to know how many you have and to make sure you don't have too many per bureau.
yes.
All right. You want to be under 20% utilization. So for personal, we said 30%, but for business, you want to be under 20%.
If you're under 10, that's ideal.
Yes.
20 is just like borderline. 10 is like where you really want to be.
So although you need this money to invest, no one wants to lend money to someone that they feel needs it. So the higher your utilization, the more they feel like you need that versus you're just getting it as a bonus for your business. All right. So you want to make sure that you're under 20% utilization and you have a minimum of 2 personal credit cards. That doesn't mean you don't have other primary cards, but for personal credit cards, you want to have a minimum of 2 with a minimum of 5K limit.
And,
Go ahead.
and the reason it's a 5K limit is because most lenders will they will match what you have or give you more.
Right.
So nobody wants to be the first person to give you a $20,000 card, a $50,000 card. You can't go from managing a $5,000 card to a $50,000.
Right.
So there's levels and there's steps to it. So if you have a $5,000 card, expect $5,000 to $10,000 on your new lines. If you have a $10,000 card, expect them to give you $10,000 to $20,000 card. So that's why it's important to make sure that your personal credit has high limit credit cards that you can also transfer that same thing to your business when you apply. Are we getting any questions? Okay.
All right. Any questions, you guys?
Before we move on, any questions about that? Anything you didn't quite understand? Anything we can go into a little more depth about? Okay.
All right. Let's talk about credit boosters. Antonio and I call them credit boosters. Um, because that's what we've been calling them that for years. We didn't just come up with it because we didn't know what it was, but it was our way to explain it in like the simplest way to people who normally don't deal with credit. All right. In our main business, we help a lot of people go from renting to owning. So we found that using the word credit boosters was easier for people to understand versus just coming out with business funding terms such as trade lines, things of that nature.
I will say this, and don't laugh at me. You can't go get these credit boosters if your credit ain't in line. If you got a whole lot of late payments, if you got a whole lot of derogatory accounts,
it's not gonna boost.
You can't take this sugar
and
put it on
stuff.
blank. So understand that part has to be good because a lot of times people go to credit repair people and say, "Hey, I need my credit fixed." But sometimes understand there's 2 steps. There's a credit repair part of it, and then there's a credit building part of it.
Right.
So when you have credit repair, that's when you're trying to get the derogatories off. That's when you're trying to get late payments off. That's when you're trying to do those things. But this is the credit building part. When you've got all those things off, now you want to build your report back up quickly. That's what these things are really helpful.
All right. Someone said, can you start building your business credit while building personal credit? Absolutely. You can do them simultaneously. Absolutely.
Now, I will say, if you're going to build it that way, you're going to build it the traditional way so that you don't need to PG it at the end. If you're going to build your business credit, that's where you're going to start needing the tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 accounts.
Yeah.
If you're building your personal credit, I advise you, hey, let's do them together because you got time at that point.
Mm-hmm. to get more funding once they're both built.
Yeah, another
Second question was, after you do one round of funding, how long should you wait till you do a second round? Ooh.
I would say about, ooh, I don't want to say this out loud, but I'm gonna say this: about 6 months before you go and do your next round of funding. Most lenders don't want you to apply for any funding
Within
6 months before you come to them.
Yeah.
Now, if you know someone that can do some things on your credit that can remove some inquiries, you can be
You
a
can
lot
go
faster.
faster. Yes.
But at the same time,
Understand that that's a chance and it's a
yes,
risk that it may or may not get removed. But yes, that can help you go faster. But from a, if I'm referring you, I'm gonna tell you 6 months
yes, before we
before
go
you
back
go
and
back
do
for a
another
second
round of
round.
funding.
Yeah. All right. So credit booster are accounts that can be purchased, but they quickly can boost your credit. All right. Self lender is one that you can quickly boost your credit.
Kickstart. These are installment loans, and basically how they work is you pay them a monthly fee, and they put a basically a
A loan
loan
on
on
your
your
credit
credit
report.
that shows that you can add a primary account. So when we say you need primary accounts, this is a way you can get primary accounts. Experian Boost.
It's going to take all of your reoccurring payments that come out of your account and they are going to report them on your credit report so that they're primary accounts. However, Experian Boost, just like it says, Experian is only going to be reporting to Experian. So it doesn't show up on Equifax, it doesn't show up on TransUnion. But if you know some lenders that are going to only be pulling Experian, then this is a good way to boost up your accounts.
All right. So I got two favorites. Rent Reporters is one of my favorites.
It is.
I love Rent Reporters because you can report your rent for up to 5 years back.
Yes.
So now there's an extra fee for that part, but if you've been staying somewhere for 2+ years, a year, you can go and report your rent, and that can come up on your credit report, and that will give you a nice big jump.
It really does. And it's what, not 9.99 a month. I think it's nine
Yes,
ninety
it's a
nine a month.
setup fee of 50 to 100, something of that nature. Um, but now this is the tricky part about it. If you ain't been paying your rent on time,
Do not file for rent reporters and try to get that on your credit report, especially if your landlord is not cool because they'll put that you missed
yes,
payments or you've been late, and that's not going to help you.
yes. If you have that situation, just send me a DM. We got to work around. We can talk about it. The other way that we like to boost people credit is through what we call trade lines,
Yeah.
which is other people's credit cards that has good history, that has
Low
low
usage.
utilization.
Yes.
I can't get the word out right.
Low usage.
Yes. And what we'll do is we will take the customer and add them to a person's credit card. And what that does is that gives the new person all of the history from that credit card.
Mhm.
So understand that when you add them, if they've been paying that card for 20 years, on your credit report, it's going to show that you've been paying that card for 20 years.
Years. Yes.
So those are things that will dramatically increase your score.
Yes.
You can get trade lines from your family, from your friends. Though that's the cheapest way to do it.
And trade lines can also be purchased.
They can also be purchased. So if you need somewhere to buy them from, just send us a DM. Where's that second one?
Is there a way to use rent reporters to report across multiple businesses? So with rent reporters, you won't be. It's mainly for your personal credit report. Is what rent reporters is building, not your business credit.
Yes.
So you can have multiple people use different houses if that's what you're asking me. But as far as reporting across multiple businesses, no, because it only rent reporters only reports to personal credit.
Yes, as far as I know of, I don't know of a reporting your business rent. I know it's best used for personal.
Yeah.
Secured credit cards. That's a great way to boost your credit. Go to the bank, Say, here goes $250, here goes $500. They give you back a card. They're gonna report that on your credit. That's another way to add a primary account to your report to boost your score.
Absolutely. And then Credit Builder Card. If you go to Credit Builder Card, I think it's creditbuildercard.com, if I'm not mistaken. They actually can you get a card and it helps build your credit.
Yeah, so like I said before, if you need credit repair, do that. But if you need credit boosters, you can buy those to help expedite your process to get your score up.
And you don't have to buy all of them to get your score up. Typically for our clients, we do about three of them. It's usually where we see the most bang for their buck.
Yeah, usually if we get a person and they're in the high fives, low sixes, and we do three credit boosters, usually they're gonna go to high six, low sevens,
yeah,
in 30 days. So our favorites are rent reporters,
other people's credit
trade
cards.
lines, and self lending.
Yeah.
Those are our three favorites. We like to put them together because those report to all three bureaus. So just a quick note.
Absolutely. All right. So some people who we recently got funding for. This young lady got 30,000 in funding. She's actually on right now asking questions. But she got 30,000 in business credit card funding using her business credit.
Yes, and just the reason we talk about business credit and OPM and credit card so much is because if you use it right, it can be rocket fuel to your business.
Yes.
So, like example with Nikki, she got the business funding. Once she got the business funding, she used that business funding to put into her fix and flip deal. So I know her fix and flip deal personally, and she has a partner. So when everything goes right on this deal, she's potentially going to make about $20,000 to $30,000 profit without using any of her own money.
Absolutely.
That's rocket fuel to your business. So understand, you gotta dig into this stuff. And you gotta understand how this stuff works if you really want to grow your business and escalate it to a new level.
Absolutely. Only up from here. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
That's real. Is this for business or personal? Which one, Q? Q asked the question, is this for business or personal? What exactly was we talking about?
Are you referring to the data points?
Or the
credit boosters?
Personal.
Credit boosters are for personal.
Yeah, so we like to build up the personal credit.
Because you can get business credit a lot faster.
Yes.
If you build up the personal credit first. Shanta said, can you speak on self-lender?
Boom, boom, boom. My brother, prime example, he didn't have any credit. 30 plus years old, didn't have any credit. So what we did was we got him a self-lender account. And don't quote me on these exact numbers, because it was about 2 years ago I did it for him. We it's different options you can choose. I think we chose a $700 loan. So they on his credit report it showed that he had a loan for $700 and he was paying I think $35 a month. And what happens is after you pay that $35 a month, it's a time frame. I want to say I don't know how many years it is, but it's a certain amount of years. And once you get through paying that $35, you get that money back. But you will also have the primary account. You'll also have a good payment history to build up. So self-lender take a little time, but with the combination of some of these other things, you'll be good.
Yeah, and it's really your money coming back to you minus the setup fee. So it's really like a no-brainer.
It's really your money.
It's really like a no-brainer. Yeah.
Are you aware of any government funding or opportunity zone businesses?
I'm not aware of government funding. This is mainly on business funding. But we can we can find someone and get you connected to someone that may have it. All right, where to apply for self-lender? Selflender.com.
Yeah, selflender.com. I guess we should have put that on there.
Yeah,
That's our fault.
selflender.com. If you Google it, it should be selflender.com.
Yes.
Any other questions, you guys? All right. Janice says she got a deal that she needs. Okay. Okay, Janice.
Yes. Miss Cynthia. All right. So the reason I put Miss Cynthia on here is because she had a great credit score. She had a good job. She was making $40,000 a year, but she didn't have enough data points for business funding.
Do you remember what her credit score was?
I want to say it was like 770s, but she didn't have a lot of it.
She didn't have many accounts.
So we couldn't really take her through business funding because she didn't have enough data points, but she still had a good score. So what we did was we went all personal, and she got I think like $120,000 in just personal funding for her business. So what we did, her step one was personal funding. At that point, she had like six. She had six accounts. We got her like six more accounts through personal funding. We got her some higher limit credit cards because her credit card limits was low.
Mm-hmm.
So once she got this $100,000 in personal funding, she came back in 6 months, and then she's going to do business funding. So
she's in the process.
She's in the process now of doing the business funding.
Yes.
And she took the $100,000 and did an investment, and off that $100,000, she's scheduled to make like $15,000 and never use her own money.
$15,000 a year without ever using her own money. All right. Chris and Mai got funded, and they got funded for $40K, making sure they had the business, the personal side, all of their data points checked out when it came to personal, and they went personal funding.
They went a combination of personal and business. The one thing about them is, and we put 40, but he actually got an American Express card with no limit.
With no limit, right?
So I really didn't know I put that in there. So I don't even count that. So that's just one of the things that they do. So people are doing it. It can be done. You can do it by yourself, just to be totally honest with you. But if you want to get the most amount of funding, I advise you to go to somebody who does it on a regular basis.
Absolutely. All right. Any questions, you guys? Yeah,
we did a good time.
Oh, that's a great time.
Any questions? Any questions? Like Miss Janice just said, she needed some funding. That is one of our other businesses is funding. So this is a thing that I will tell you. If you need funding, book a 15-minute call. It ain't gonna hurt you. It don't charge you to get a call. If you need trade lines, book a call. If you need some rent reported, book a call.
So how do I book a call? Go to www.nenknowsfunding.com. There's a contact us page, and it should allow you to book a call with us. Or if you want to give us a call and get you put on the calendar, you can call 205-622-9161, and someone from our team will.
All right. Any other questions? Anything when it comes to this world? Anything that I missed off the top of my head?
I don't know.
You asked me? No? All right.
We didn't talk about Jasmine funding.
I can't put everybody
talk about your funding. You want to come on? You go ahead.
All right. So what Yasmin did was Yasmin used the funding to get started in Turo. So basically, we built the credit up. If you don't know who Yasmin is our
just come on,
sister, business partner.
Show your head. Bam.
So what Yasmin did was she used our strategies to get started in Turo. So we built her credit up, all these good things you see here, got her some personal cards.
Put her on rent reporters. Add her to trade lines. Yes, all of those things.
Once she got to a point where she was able to get funding, she didn't necessarily want the business funding and that stuff. What she did was she used it to get two cars. So she got two cars because she needed the cars, honestly. She got two cars and now she's touring one and she's driving the other one.
So this week on Friday, she got her first. She put it on Turo last week. On Friday, she got her first booking, and this week they have one of the cars for the entire week, which will make you how much?
340.
How much is your note?
340.
So 1 week of Turo is gonna pay for the note of their car.
Yes.
1 week.
She just did this last month?
Mm-hmm.
Last month. So I understand that there's a lot of ways to make money. You just need to tap in. Somebody put, where can I get funding? Just get on the calendar. We can talk about it.
Denknowsfunding.com, www.denknows funding.com.
Yes. Thank you for joining, Miss Janice.
Janice.
I hope it's helpful information. Y'all always know we're go-givers. We're going to always lead with information. You can take it and run with it and execute. But if you can't do it all by yourself, we're still here to help.
Absolutely. This training will be available on the site on REI Live site for 24 hours. After that, it's going to be dropped into the on-demand site so you can catch it on the on-demand site.
Tell them about the challenge.
All right, so we have a Fund Your Flip challenge that is coming up at the end of April. The website for Fund Your Flip challenge is fundyourflipchallenge.com. Fund, F-U-N-D, your, Y-O-U-R, flip, F-L-I-P, challenge, CHALLENGE.com. The challenge is absolutely free, but we're going to talk about hard money funding, private money funding, how to get that private money investor, how to secure it, what paperwork you need in place. We're going to go a little bit deeper when it comes to business and personal funding. So like how to set it up so you get the max, as far as what account should you apply for, what company should you apply with. What else am I missing?
We're going to talk about 401ks.
We're going to talk about 401ks.
How to use those. We're going to talk about HELOCs, how to use those to invest. So if you're trying to get into this real estate thing and funding is your number one objection, this is a challenge you want to be on. Also, we're going to kind of show you how to talk to people. That it don't necessarily always have to be your money, but you got to have a little skills. You got to have a little know-how to communicate and find these people. Because people in your circle have 700, 800 credit scores they're doing nothing with. They're easy people to partner with if you know what you're doing.
All right. It's absolutely free. Check it out. Sign up now. And we can't wait to see you. See you soon.
Any more questions? Let us know. We here for y'all. We got 6 more minutes. We want to just do a quick hitter on this one. Get some good game out. Help some people.
Was this helpful today, you guys?
Yeah.
Comment in the box if it was helpful for today. Someone said they need more business funding.
Who need more business funding?
Shalita, she said, I need absolutely, Miss Drew.
Yes.
We're working on you, though.
But I think that you inspired us, along with some other students, to do this. Because I know we talk about it on a one-on-one basis a lot, but kind of putting it out there. This is the start of it. We're going to continue it in the funding challenge to go a little deeper, but you definitely need to get some more business funding.
Because there's so many ways that you can really invest in real estate, and it doesn't need your own money. Antonio and I have built a multi-million-dollar portfolio without using our own money. So that's exactly what we teach you. It's not about how much money do I have, but how much money can I get access to? How many people are willing to help me and take it that extra mile?
What's the thing?
Stop it. Can you stop it?
What's it called? Yes. Jad, what it is?
No, just let it go.
All right. I'm gonna learn it. I'm gonna learn that name when you drop the jewels like that.
All right. Good stuff. Good. I see the hearts. I see the loves.
I ain't even put Miss Victoria on there. I'm gonna put your business in the street, Miss Victoria. Miss Victoria got about a 50 piece just listening to us. Tell us how much you got, Miss Victoria.
Type it in the chat.
Type it in the chat. I ain't even put you on that. It be so many people. I be forgetting about people. Honestly,
sometimes a lot of people act shy. Don't be shy today, Victoria.
Don't be shy. Her husband credit score jumped up 64 points.
58,000.
She took. We said it got $58,000 in funding.
In funding.
So understand this stuff works. I promise y'all it works.
She said, we know. We low key.
Yes. I'm sorry putting you out, but I see your name pop up and it just hit me that you did get some funding also.
Absolutely. Once you hook me up, you can share my
share your video with everybody.
With everybody.
That's real.
Absolutely.
That's real. Okay.
Absolutely.
Man, we thank y'all for coming.
Yes.
Any more questions? Any more concerns?
If you watch it later and you got questions,
and you just drop it in there.
Drop it in chat. We'll monitor it. We'll answer it, and we will see you guys next Wednesday at the property walkthrough on April 5th. We'll see you then. We'll be in Inslee for that property walkthrough.
Yes.
We'll be walking a 9-unit. For one of our clients, one of our friends, we helped him buy a 9-unit apartment, and we're excited to show you guys. He's excited.
And he ain't used none of his money either.
Without using any of his own money.
We're gonna start believing one day that it's going on.
Absolutely.
Hey, until then,
you're welcome.
Man, thank y'all for coming. Keep coming to get this knowledge from us. Y'all have a good day.
Have a wonderful day, you guys. Peace.